on the posterior side of the head region and the occipital region. Now we will see. So this is the C7. From the C7, 3 chun proximal to the C7. So this is normally called as a posterior hairline. But however, for him it starts here, but this to be considered as a posterior hairline. From here, 1 chun proximal to this DU16. Again it is 1.5 chun proximal to the DU16 on the midline. That's called as a occipital protuberance. Once you touch and then feel, this is the occipital region is called. You just press this bone and then come down. You can find the depression. That to be known as the occipital protuberance of the bone. So from here 1.5 chun proximal to the DU17, so this DU18. So 17 and 18 midway between the area called as a visual cortex of the brain. Normally this entire region also to be considered as a visual cortex, but however as per the scalp acupuncture we just apply the DU17 and then DU18. First we will start from the DU18 point and then bring down to the downwards direction which is connecting to the DU17. So therefore these are the only one area normally it is advisable to treat for the all the vision related disorders. By the way, you just apply the 1 centimeter lateral to the DU17 and then 1 centimeter lateral on the right side you just apply downwards direction. So this also useful to treat for the visual cortex of the brain, but however all 3 points are really useful to treat for the vision disorders. So by the way, you wanted to use add up the one organ related problem can be treatable by activating the Feng, that is the GB20 point. Bilaterally GB20 apply. So GB20 applied towards the opposite eye. This GB20 applied on the right side of the eye towards the eye direction. I'll show you how to apply that one particular point. You just use this GB20. This is 3 chun lateral to the posterior hairline. You just place the 3 fingers where the third finger terminates. There you just apply. You just apply this needle GB20 towards on the left eye. Right. Now we just apply the other point which will be useful to treat for. You just apply towards the right eye. Yes, exactly. You just apply on this. So hopefully in this way we will treat, but what is required? You just applied, that's not quite enough. Further it may require as a manual stimulation or the electrical stimulation advisable. Each minute it's really good to activate at least 200 times per minute is advisable. So we can activate this also 200 times manually, otherwise you can connect to the electrical stimulation as well, right? चियांग चियान प्यार से बोलो ना, चियांग चियान चांच नहीं, चियांग चियान, right? That to be known as a DU18 and then the now who is the DU17. कहाँ पे है? So 1.5 chun proximal to the external occipital protuberance. Vertically above this on the midline, that area to be known as a DU17 and then DU18. Treatable for the ophthalmic related disorders, vision related disorders, recognizing the colors. Different rainbow colors can be recognized by using that particular point. So now normally there is a technique, the technique to be known as a one point to other point technique. You apply this one point and the another point. How to bring down the fever of the needles? Less number of the needles you can use it, that's called as a mastery. So that particular time through to through needling is very important. That having the more effect. Abhi now who? Now means is the brain. Ho means is the place. Now who the brain place से चियांग जियान उसको हम लोग एक ही needles में लगाएंगे. Then another area to be known as a 1 centimeter lateral right lateral, left lateral 1 centimeter, right lateral and left lateral. This to be collectively treatable. There are the three lines, you keep it in the mind. One line is the midline. The second line to be known as a 1 centimeter lateral, 1 centimeter other side of the lateral. Three lines collectively, that to be known as a 4 centimeter length. That to be known as a 4 centimeter is equivalent to the 1.5 chun. Then you just apply the needle to treat for the what condition? Optic nerve, ophthalmic nerve, retinal nerve, macula nerve. Then it is the retinopigmentosa related problem, night blindness related condition, cornea related disorders. Do you know there is a image from whenever I see somebody, right, yellow color, sir is using, that image is reflecting. When coming to my eyes, cornea, reaching to my cornea. From the cornea, it goes to the lens. From the lens, it goes to the inside aqueous humor. It goes to the vitreous humor. From the vitreous humor, it goes to the macula. From the macula, it goes to the retina. From the retina, it gets visual cortex of the brain. It connects to the brain. From the brain, it goes to the cornea to recognize this yellow color. This is the gray color. That is the white color. This is as a blue color. We can recognize, isn't it? So that concept to be regulated from where? There are the two places you remember. One place to be known as a visual cortex of the brain on the ventral side of the brain. That's called as a forebrain. Prefrontal visual cortex, post-central visual cortex of the brain. One is the ventral side, the other one is the back side. Both the place you need to target to treat for the vision related problem. Then, sir, you told me that Chengchi, Sibai, Julio, Dikyang, De, Ing, Tovei, these points are related to the eyes. But all the eye points can be treatable vicinity of that to improve the eyes. That's called as a local points. That's called as a local points. What is required? Targeted cells, targeted astrocytes, targeted glial cells, which is supporting to the cortex. Cortex means is the brain. Brain means is the gray matter. The gray matter means where the conductivity system to be taken place on the brain. So that commanding to be given from the place. Remote is there. So whenever you wanted to switch on the TV, so that time you just do it in the different ways, right? So whenever you wanted to on the TV, you just going towards the nearer to the TV or touching to the button of the TV to open. That means is the clinical TV points. Clinical acupuncture points, this is called as the eyes. When you are sitting here, that you are pressing the remote to open the cam and open the TV. That means you are targeting from the brain to open the system. That's called as a remote points. That's called as a controlling points. That's called as a dominating points. That's called as a promoting and regulating points as well. So therefore you target that and target the local area if at all required. Then in that way, that to be known as a prefrontal cortex. You just apply this is called as a Tongtian Locho. Tongtian Locho Chobin. These are the points which is on the frontal cortex. The points are located UB meridian and then gallbladder meridian. That is Muchuang, Chenging, Senging, Chengaling. These are the points gallbladder 16, 17, 18. All the points are important point to treat for the vision related disorders as well.